Hey everybody! So in this video, we are talking about Jesperi Kotkaniemi, or KK. So KK was in his sophomore season in 2019-20. Things didn't go too well for him. He had a really good rookie season, and we had very high expectations for him going into this season that is about to finish, hopefully, with the return to play that's about to start in a couple weeks. And, things... There's the sophomore jinx, and you could say it really applied to Kotkaniemi in this season because from the beginning of the season, it did not go well. And I'm just going to run over everything from the off season and go through right to now 17 things about KK, and you could say, why not 20? And I think if I procrastinate on filming this any longer, I could probably have another 3 things, but we're going to go with what we got here now. So 17 things about Jesperi Kotkaniemi, or KK, and we start with, in the off-season, after his rookie season, he had knee surgery, and he missed most of his off-season training. And I would think that because of that, that's probably why he struggled at the beginning of the season. He had a really good start. I believe it was his first 2 games. He had a goal in each game, and then it went straight downhill after that. And I have a feeling that he wasn't fully recovered from the knee surgery, or by not really having the time to do his off-season training. It really, really affected him at the start of the season because he just didn't look right after the first 2 games. He injured his groin in training camp as well, and this was another problem to contribute to that. He had a slight groin pull of some sort that I guess they thought he'd play through, and I don't think that worked. So combined with the fact that he didn't finish his off-season training properly, and then the groin injury happened, he was totally off balance. And if you remember at the beginning of the season, it's exactly what he looked like, that he was kind of off balance. And I don't mean off balance on his skates, just that his game was just sort of not there, and was sort of there, and he had flashes, and they looked like he might be okay, and then he just never got going. And something just always seemed off with his game at the beginning. Then, at the beginning, I think it's the beginning of December, the Zadorov, I call it a slew foot. It wasn't officially a slew foot, I don't think. The Zadorov slew foot behind the Habs net. It might have been behind the Colorado net. I'm not positive on that. But Zadorov has... he gets KK along the boards. KK face up against the glass. Zadorov comes in behind him, and basically he kicks his feet. To me, he kicked his feet out from under him, while at the same time sort of spinning him from the neck. And KK just did onto his head. His neck bent, and we all thought he's dead and that he'd be out for forever. But he did miss almost a month with a concussion from that. And considering that that's all he missed, and he came back. And apparently he was fine from that. That was like a miracle, because I figured his season was done there. But he came back, and again, still didn't look right. But of course, how could he with what he's going through? He just didn't get a chance to get off on a good foot. And at the same time, I don't know if it was that it seemed like Julien had lost confidence in him. And not only that, Julien had lost confidence, he kind of lost confidence in himself. And I think... Actually, that's one of the things I said here. Anyways, he's then demoted to the AHL's Laval Rocket. Oh, I should have fixed this. Now, I read this. I put 12 in 12 games, but it's true. I read that. And I read it in a couple other places. It was 13 games. So I went and checked, and it was 13 games. So he went to the Laval Rocket. He hooks up with Charles Hudon. And they got some chemistry. And Hudon finds... Well, in the AHL, Hudon can score goals. He finds the net, and he can score goals. And they hooked up, and he got 13 points in 13 games, and that was 1 goal and 12 assists. And I would have to say, if all 12 assists weren't on 12 Hudon goals, it was pretty much that. So they hooked up, and they had good chemistry. It kind of makes you wonder if they're maybe... in camp today, it's apparently because somebody is not... able to be in practice. They've got Hudon, from what I saw, hooked up with KK, and you kind of wonder if they might try this, and they should try it in camp to see if KK and Hudon can hook up and maybe refine that chemistry that they definitely had in Laval. Anyway, so he's demoted there. He gets 13 points in 13 games with Charles Hudon on his wing, and he's looking really good. And then he gets a hard hit along the boards, one of the bruiser guys on the other team. I don't remember what team. It results in a spleen injury. We're all really concerned. Thinks the rumor is he's got to have his spleen removed and blah 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 blah. But it was a bruise that he or something like that, and he needed to rest. Was really all it was. So he went back home to Finland and he rested, and his season was done. If it wasn't for the suspension and all this stuff, we wouldn't be talking about him right now because everything would be over. His season had been done. We'd be talking only about next season. But because of the long delay, he was able to heal up, and he did the rest, and then he started working. Maybe I should go to the other side. He started working with a top Finnish speed skating coach, one of the most respected speed skating coaches, and his skating improved significantly, allowing him to keep pace. He wasn't able to keep pace, and that was a comment from Claude Julien. I don't know if I got to it there, but yeah, his skating is greatly improved. And there was an interview with Claude Julien, and he said that his skating is so much better this year that it's really making like his rookie season when in training camp they really had to make the decision of do we keep him or do we send him back to Finland for another year or two, and they kept him. And I think it's going to be the same kind of decision here, and I think they are going to keep him. So he does the work with the skating coach, and he works with a top Finnish hockey coach to bring his game up a notch. And apparently these two coaches I don't know if they work together specifically, but it seems like they do. And what they do is when the Finnish players, when they they're not either performing the way they should, something's missing from their game, whatever, these two people get them back up to speed, improved, and ready for the NHL again. And it seems to me like it might have worked because Claude Julien is really, I'm going to read some quotes from him, and he's really impressed. He's put on muscle, and he looks a lot stronger, though apparently, I read a comment on Twitter, he doesn't want to talk about it too much, apparently. So I don't know why, but yeah, he's put on some muscle. He definitely looks stronger. And on the ice, there's some highlights of him on the ice, he looks so much better. You can see that better skating, the confidence. You could just see it in him. I think I made a comment of this coming here. So he's now 20 years old, and I think he's ready for the NHL, both mentally and physically now. He's ready to take on the NHL. What was missing, I think, he's still young. At that age, there's not a lot of guys that can come in here and be both mentally and physically and skill-wise ready for the NHL. Now, his skills were pretty much up to starting in the NHL, but I don't know if he was fully mentally ready and definitely not physically fully ready, but he is now, I do believe. So when drafted, it was expected he would need 2 years to be ready. And you know what? If you take that 2 years, that 2 years is now. So when they drafted him, they kind of expected, well, maybe not right now because 2019-20 hasn't finished, but going into next season, they kind of expected that he would be ready or pretty much ready then. So if you take that into account, plus the fact that he does have some NHL experience now, and he's done all this extra training and fixed up his skating, I don't know anymore if he'll go back to the AHL. I really don't. I was one saying I think he will go back maybe for the whole season. I don't know at this point if he'll go back. Injuries, loss of confidence in himself and from the coach, that's what I was talking about before, and the sophomore jinx can be put behind him now. He's got an opportunity here with the return to play and the Habs making it in to the qualifying round, and the fact that Max Domi more than likely won't play. And there is a quote in the quote, you'll see what I'm talking about, maybe Domi doesn't play center if he does play. So he can put all that behind him with a really good showing. And in the first 4 days of training camp, all I hear about from KK is good stuff. How much improved his skating is, his maturity level, his shot is apparently devastating. I don't know if I put that quote in there. I did. So Julian's praise in camp. So he's been praising him when they interview, the coach, those interviews, and it's a good sign he'll get a good shot in camp. I think it's a good sign that you're going to see him on the roster. I think If he keeps this kind of play up for the next, I think it's 10 more days of camp, something like that, 9 more days, something like that. If he can keep this play up and maybe improve even more along the way, I don't think there's a way that he's not on the roster, especially if Domi's not playing. First, Julien Quote. Let me see now. So I wrote for the quote very quickly. Julian's praise of KK went up. I put it a notch. I think I put it on. Okay. It says, well, what I'd like to think, and what I'd like for KK to think, is that this week, this week and next week, if he can continue to show us how well he's progressed. Just because right now Max isn't here doesn't mean it automatically goes back to KK. That's going to be moved off the line of Byron, KK, Lecky. We'll make those decisions, as I said to everyone else, as we move forward here. So I don't know if I read that properly, but here's what the meaning was, and I had to read it a few times to make sure. What he's saying is, just if Max Domi comes back and plays, it doesn't mean KK is going to be the one moving off that third line. And from the position that he's in. What he's saying is, it's possible if KK comes back, he's going to play the wing on that line. And I can definitely see that. I think it would be probably Byron being moved down to the fourth line. You'd add Domi there, Domi, Lecky, and KK as a line. I like that line because Lecky definitely gives you that defensive responsibility. KK as well. And KK, we're going to find out his new offense. We don't know what he's capable of yet. He's going to be improved. And I think his offense is going to be improved, and we're going to see. So that's a really good quote from Julien, if you ask me. That Julian's really happy with him, and I think Julien sees that KK's got a roster spot. Phil Deneau is impressed with KK so far in camp, quoted as saying, his shot is devastating. That's a quote from Phil Deneau. He's really, really impressed with KK, his maturity level, his skating. He also says his skating is so much better. So he's really impressed. That's from Phil Deneau. Second, Julien Quote. This guy here is a future player that should be with this team for a long time. So there's no doubt you have to work with him. In this case, I think the best thing to let KK do right now is to let him come in, let him skate, let him play, let him gain his confidence. He doesn't need me in his face the first day having to tell him, I want you to do this and that. And then he does go on to say that it won't be too, like in the near future, they'll sit down and talk. But I like this new approach. I don't know if it's I think it is a new approach with Julien. Letting KK come in and get comfortable, get his confidence before he starts to say, okay, you're doing maybe this wrong and we need you to do this and that. Because I think that could be a big part of KK remaining with the team moving forward is don't beat him down yet. He's coming in with confidence, with some new skills, with some better skating. Let him just get comfortable and be happy that he's back and all that stuff. I don't know if I'm expressing that the way I really want to, but I really agree with this. Don't get in his face right now. Just let him get comfortable. KK's father is a coach. KK's coachable. He doesn't hate his coach. He listens to his coach. There's no worry about him getting overconfident and going, I don't need you. That's not a worry. I really doubt that. His father is a coach. He knows how to be coached. He's a coachable kid. Number 16. We're already at number 16. He's getting a second chance here, and he really deserves it. And I only mean that it wouldn't be that, next season he's not going to get another chance. But what I think that means is that he's getting a second chance this season to turn around the sophomore jinx and everything that's been bad about this season. He's getting a second chance to make that right by having a really good performance here. It doesn't matter how many games maybe Montreal is out in the first three, but if his performance is good, and you can't say, well, KK cost us this, or he made a bad this, or whatever, and you're not saying that, he's done his job, and he's gonna, he's earned it, and he deserves it. And the last one, and I added this just now, I'm watching a media interview with all the players, one at a time. So I watched the one with KK. The thing I noticed the most is, man, his English is better. his English is really good. Like last season, he was struggling to make a sentence, and now, geez, he sounds like he's been living here for a while. And that's not perfect by any means, but wow, is that improved. And okay, sorry to the French viewers, I don't mean anything by that. It's just that he's not going to be learning French. I mean, I doubt he's going to be learning French. He's learning English first, because the language of hockey is English, and by that I mean that when they're in practice and all that stuff, it's all done in English no matter where you come from. And now there's all kinds of languages, so French aren't being, there's nothing against them, but they do everything in English. So he's going to learn English first, and his English is really greatly improved to the fact that I thought I should put it here that, man, his English is that much better. So KK, we kind of was really disappointed, because last season, his rookie season, I really love this kid. I was making videos and talking about him and everything. And then it was really disappointing to see everything that happened to him last season. We had such high expectations. Well, I'm really excited to see this kid, who not everyone, but so many people on social media are saying is a bust. I don't see it. I'm just so excited to see what this kid can do, because Jesperi Kotkaniemi is going to be, I want to say, like a major force for this team for a long time. He's a 20-year-old kid. 20 years old, and so many people calling him a bust and saying blah, blah, blah. We haven't begun to see what this kid can do at all. Haven't begun. No matter what you want, if you liked his rookie season, you're like, oh, that's great. We haven't begun to see this kid's skills and what kind of a player he is going to be. It's just about to start. We're going to start to see now what KK can do and what kind of player he's going to be. He's going to be around a long time in Montreal, and we're going to love this kid. You're going to see KK. So that's 17 things about KK. It was a good rant about KK, and yeah, I love this kid, and I'm really happy to see that he looks like he's got his game back on the right trend upward. And the work he did with these coaches was probably maybe the best thing he could have done for himself, is do that. He needed to improve his skating, and he did. And I think that's going to make all the difference in him finishing plays and even scoring goals. He's going to be where he needs to be able to keep up, be able to get to where he needs to get to, because his skating is improved. It makes a huge difference. So we're going to see on the ice pretty soon if that's true or not, and I believe it is true. So thanks for watching this video. I do appreciate it if you like to give a thumbs up while you're down there doing that. If you have any comments about what I said here, if you want to add any more things to this list of 17, go right ahead. Do that in the comment section. Really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, while you're down there, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell, and that's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. So thanks everybody for watching this video. Please stay safe out there. Wear a mask when you need to, when there's all kinds of people around. I would also say don't go to bars. Don't have gatherings, and don't go to bars right now. It's not a great idea. And that's it. And thanks for watching. Peace out, y'all. And I will see you next video. News of the day, I believe, coming up right after this one.